It's 4 degrees.
Okay,
Good. Okay, I'd like to call this meeting of the Environmental Services Committee to order. It's 1 o'clock on March 10th. Do we have any pecuniary interest?
None known.
None known. Okay, see here, no delegation. The prior meeting minutes were approved at council last month. So we'll move down to health and safety. No, we've got the task list. Okay. I see one item on there.
which one,
For
sorry?
environmental, it was
Right
about
there.
bylaw for
You just went
private
past
hydrants.
it.
That looks to
The
be
middle one.
outstanding still. Right,
Right
right
there.
there, yes. Did we? Can't remember if we did anything on that.
Well, it's not showing as completed, so let's,
You Look
Well,
into it.
yeah, we'll find out. And
Okay.
report back on it.
Okay, thank you. So we'll move on. Next item would be health and safety. And I don't see anything on the report. That we're not aware of, I guess I can use that caveat.
Anything new?
Nothing new. The only thing I see new is parking lot under construction, which is because of. Yeah. The building construction, but nothing, the same old issues. So I'll move that we receive and file that. And we'll move on to new business. The Environmental Services Monthly Report for February. Neighbor Street.
Okay. So digester project update, been talking to Associated Engineering. They still are hoping to give us their report by the end of the month, which, once we do have their draft report, I'm gonna request that they come and do a presentation to the village, on their recommendations for moving forward with that project. Then they'll be able to discuss some of the costing and stuff, because we are anticipating with the length of time it's been, the costs are gonna be different.
Yeah.
So they'll be able to back up and explain all their reasoning behind their recommendations. Light Street, St. Clair, we received the pricing for that, and we'll be discussing that
Further in the agenda.
further in the agenda.
Yes.
The new environmental services building, all the changes that needed to be done, have been submitted to the subcontractors to be re-quoted. Those were supposed to be returned to the village engineer, I believe, by this Thursday for review, and then they'll pass them on to us. What kind of changes and what kind of cost changes are there, whether they're up and down on some of the mechanical. They've made a number of changes to the actual plan that they have.
Okay.
We had our bi-weekly meeting 2 weeks ago. Yesterday's meeting was canceled by the contractor. But in the meeting 2 weeks ago, they did get, they told us they had the report from EXP. And BM Ross was to be reviewing that and coming back to Collins Fraser on their recommendations on whether there's any additional soil that need to be removed from the foundation area of the building. Hopefully we hear back in the next few days what's happening there. I did send an email out when the meeting was canceled for yesterday that I really don't want to see any more meetings canceled, but you know, I did have a bunch of questions that needed to be answered, and they're supposed to be getting me answers for those. The new generator at Venetian, the planning's going on there. We've done some preliminary layout for the concrete bases and stuff and the conduits there, so. Hoping the generator is gonna be delivered late this month, early April. We can start that project moving forward. And talk to the contractor, the third staircase, they've just been waiting for. The weather to get the crane back in to install that last one.
And after that, they're gonna put the
The
gates on them as well?
Yeah, once that's done, all the gates, some of the gates have shown up, they've dropped them off at the facility.
Okay,
They wanna, when the crews in, they'll go around install that once,
okay,
and then we'll just have to get the, the sign made up from, Riverview. That says, only authorized access is allowed. And they're gonna be locked, like any of the ones up to the roof, so obviously they're gonna have locks on them, so.
okay.
Work management, so we have four full-time employees in the department, and I'm still working on trying to get the. Job description and stuff all finalized, so we can go to the union and get that position that was approved. Out to advertising for it. Training, all the staff are continuing to maintain their training hours and get additional training to try to get higher level certifications. And then we're following the health and safety matrix from the village health and safety coordinator. Certifications, all of our staff have the required certifications to operate under the facilities. Plant, all of our maintenance and work is being tracked through the mesh work order system. The remote facilities continue to have all their routine maintenance and housekeeping done as per their schedule in the work order system. The building, it's ongoing, as well as the issues. And also working with the deputy fire chief to potentially get some stuff in place for them to use our existing building once the new one gets moved into. And then myself and I have staff helping. We're revisiting some of the service contracts for major equipment such as the generators. So I'm looking into the service contracts for all the village generators except for the fire hall and the one here at the village office. The contracts come up and the current provider of that contract has significantly increased their price after 2 5-year terms. So I've told them that because of the increase, we're gonna put it out to a bunch of other suppliers and get some competitive pricing on that to make sure that they're treating us fairly. Another one as well as the company that does our aeration blowers at the plant. They've actually doubled their annual maintenance cost. So we have a few potential suppliers quoting that as well, just not quite sure why it's skyrocketing, but they really don't have an answer other than they were giving us a really good deal in the past.
Yeah, I could believe that.
Yeah, so anyway, there are some changes coming possibly for service contracts with some of our major equipment. Inspections, I don't have any inspections to report on the period. All of our wastewater infrastructure, all the assets are in good working condition to the best of our knowledge. And again, they get all the regular maintenance done. And then we were talking earlier about the contractor providing the sanitary storm sewer lining. That's been received and we'll discuss it going forward. Drinking water infrastructure, everything, all the general work is being committed or conducted through the mesh work order system. We had 2 water main breaks this last month, one on Front Street, which was a significant break and it caused complete closure of the road for a period of time. There was extensive damage to the road that's going to need to be repaired come spring or summer. I actually have asked the contractor to come in with another load of cold patch. Public Works has tried to, put their bags in and touch it up, but it's still sunk enough that it's gonna need a significant amount, so hopefully they're gonna try to get in this week to get that cleaned up a little bit, so it's not such an aggressive bump if somebody were to hit it. The second break was on Church Street at the same time as the first, which created some difficulties, but we got them both fixed with minimal disruption to residents. And then we were called for a water issue at the community center. So myself and staff discovered that they had a frozen service there for the Optimus Hall. We also determined with working with the contractors that we're pretty sure that the service line in the ground is burst from being frozen. So that's where I suggested to the Public Works manager that we eliminate that service. And we figured out where they could tie into the plumbing in the arena. So we made our recommendations. They've gone ahead and done that work.
Yep.
We also had, because they had a number of events that weekend that had happened, I had Kim call. She called and got portable washrooms set up and brought in for that, so they could continue to have, there was a stag and doe and cornhole tournament and a couple other things. I guess a Super Bowl Sunday party there as well. But we got that all sorted out for them at the arena and the Optimus Center.
And before you go any further, just want to thank you and your staff for, you guys had a real busy time there. Like it was, I felt for you.
Wasn't
You know,
that the
when-
day after we said we've had no breaks? How
Yeah.
lucky we've been.
Yeah, I think I jinxed us when I
And
said
then the
something
next
about
day.
that.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
I think I do it to myself too often. Inspections and reports, so I've submitted the annual drinking water reports as required to the CAO, who shared them for this meeting to be presented to the committee and council. And I'm continuing to work on the wastewater collection, stormwater reports that are due for this year. Or sorry, for the 2025 year. Stormwater infrastructure, Tormont CAD continues to work on the 2 backup diesel for the vertical turbine pumps. One's actually set in place now. The first one's sitting in place. It's not connected to the pump yet, but we're hoping within the next couple of weeks I'll have that first one operational and we can start working on the second one. Catch basin repairs, there was a catch basin on Venetia, that has been repaired. And we do have a couple other ones that we found over the last few days. Public Works staff notified me of a couple that they were noticing were having some problems with getting the waterway, so went in an inspection on them and they're gonna need some repairs. And once the weather clears up a little bit. And village management met with the Lamson County staff to discuss the planned road project down under the bridge at the waterfront parking lot entrance. And I've scheduled the storm sewers and laterals to all be camera, and we'll review those and see how much work has to be done before that project is put out to tender. And that work will be, my understanding is the plans to have that work all tendered into, included in the tender of the project.
So when you say that'll be the county's cost?
There is a split.
There's
so
a split?
They pay a percentage.
Okay.
The majority of that cost is
Will
on
be
the
ours?
village. But I'm not exactly sure. I believe it's about 25%.
I believe, yeah,
Something like that for that type of work. But,
for the underground stuff.
the majority of it is going to be village cost.
And we don't have a budget line item for that, do we?
No, we do.
It wasn't
Or-
included in the budget for 26?
No, our budget was passed before the county approved the project
Okay.
for their 26 budget, so
Okay, so we've got to find out where
where
the money's coming from?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
just
Also, as part of that, we're looking at, we're gonna have a provisional item to repave the parking lot at Waterfront Park.
Okay,
Just something the county guys suggested to us while we're down there. And the parking lot is getting a little bit rough, so we're putting it in as a provisional item. We're also gonna tie in the St. Clair Street repaving into this contract. And the county also wants to do a shave and pave up here on Michigan between Christina
Michigan.
and Front.
yes,
And so do it all as one contract to try and get better prices.
okay,
So, the St. Clair Street, Michigan, and the work under the bridge is all, it's just gonna be, it's work that's kind of approved. The parking lot is a provisional item that if we get a good price and we wanna go ahead with it, we can do it or not do it. We make that decision at the time.
okay. So with that, is there any other changes under like that? Cause these aren't budgeted at this point in time, anything for those projects down under the bridge, right? Right, with Waterfront on the village side. The
Yeah.
county has their, but I know before we were talking about possibly changing some of the the crosswalks and that, you know,
Yeah.
from that came from the traffic study.
Yeah.
There's a recommendation there.
Yeah, they're looking at that as well, like possibly doing some realignment. There's 2 crossings there
Yeah.
now. They're talking about changing them, making them into one, possibly just eliminating one of them. So that decision will be made down the road.
Okay.
As far as paying for it, we'll get some prices and figure out, maybe there's a project we put off.
Okay.
Like we'll have to make those decisions once we get the information together.
Okay, thank you.
Just an update, since we're talking about it, the bridge lawyers have the documents on the changes under the bridge. And they're signed off on it. So just from the county's perspective,
Okay, that's good news.
got that last week.
Okay, sorry, Jay. Go
no,
ahead.
Yeah, the lawyer reviewed it and signed off.
excuse me, and just another note, I'm gonna wanna reach out to Public Works Manager, with all the heavy rain and the forecast and all the talk of flooding. I did notice yesterday we do have some catch basins that are covered up with some fairly heavy debris. I try to get some of that and get some crews out to try to mitigate any possible flooding of roads because of the debris.
I've got one in front of my house that I just noticed with the garbage out there this morning, so I haven't got to it yet, but I'll get that this afternoon.
Sounds like there's potentially quite a bit of rain coming,
I just got an alert
so.
starting tonight through tomorrow.
Yes,
I mean, I had alert previously, just another one just came.
So. Just something that we'll try to get as many people out clearing, so we don't have any flooding issues. Vehicles and equipment, all of our vehicles and equipment are in safe working condition. It's, again, mentioned earlier about the annual maintenance contracts that we're reviewing. And trying to get better pricing on some of those. Health and safety, we just have our regular ongoing issues that are being addressed through the new building. The roof access ladder, again, it's scheduled, they're just gonna hook the crane now once the weather definitely stays nice. Security, we don't have any security issues that we're aware of. And capital reserve budget, continuing to work with my staff on capital items to ensure that we get them moving forward, try to have them completed by the end of the year. Working with the engineer on the project for the Mara Light Simpson and Church Streets. And that's moving forward, and according to the engineers, they feel comfortable that they're gonna have that ready for review in the springtime. I don't have any community feedback to add. Upcoming events, I did have a request from our event planner. To book the Aqua Water trailer. The trailer was not available, but they do have the truck mounted one, which is
It's what we used last year.
last year we
Isn't
had
it?
the trailer. We did use it a couple years ago.
Okay,
Basically it mounts on the truck. It actually has a cooler built into it, so it actually chills the water even more. And it is easier for the law staff to get it in and out, and instead of having multiple staff, on overtime, they can do it with one person, so. It's a little more convenient to a lot of the parties, and just, people will have to wait a little longer to fill their bottles, but it is available and it is booked.
Okay, thank you.
And that's everything I have. Oh, yeah, that's everything I have.
Worship, anything,
no,
any more
No.
questions? No, I got nothing. Okay, well, I move to receive and file.
sorry, one second. We,
Oh,
we
sorry.
did talk with the Works Manager this morning about Front Street, and he talked about how, was it related to the weather or something, how it's sinking, and they're gonna repack it more, and they're working with the county on when the repairs would be done down the road.
Yeah, it'll be, I've discussed it with Glenn Miller, and it'll be a little bit before we do any repairs. The amount of sand and material that got washed
Yeah.
up onto the road from that was significant. I'm fairly confident that we're gonna see additional road damage over the next little while as weather warms up and the frost comes out of the ground and we get this wet weather. So we wanna make sure we leave it and do one repair rather than try to do
Yep.
it too soon and then have to do it over again. And I will have the county involved when the time comes, because we probably are gonna have to go right across the road. We're hoping not, but I think we're gonna cross the center line for sure. For the repair part.
So you'll make sure Public Works, yourselves, the county's all
Yeah, they're really, I
Everybody
don't
being-
think there'll be much involved with public works, to be honest, it's
just, well,
typically-
like, might keep Mike in the loop.
Yeah, Mike, he'll be,
Yeah, that's all.
typically it's I look after.
Yeah.
All that when it's done, so.
Okay. Okay, we'll move on to next item is the annual reports from the ministry. And the first one is the drinking water systems regulation. 170/03.
Yeah, these are just the regular annual reports, basically, once the one doesn't get submitted to the MOE. It's just for the village and council's information, public's information. The other one I submit to the MOE.
Okay.
And then they're both posted on the website for public information.
Okay. I have one question on this one. In the, you described the drinking water system. And you make reference that we have some cast iron construction and there's one small section of transite.
Yes,
You obviously, you know where those are located.
actually, no, I don't.
You don't.
No, we don't.
Okay,
No record of it. That comes from existing reports
Okay.
previous to my time, so. I'll
Okay.
have to get it, but
so,
we don't know exactly where that is. Unfortunately, the historic records are, as many municipalities, they just don't exist. so,
Yes. okay,
It'd be one of those things that if we ever do run into it, we'll either find it in a future project with a replacement, or if we have a break, we'll find it.
yeah,
We've had other issues and breaks in the past where we were told, or I was told when I came here, that water main had been replaced and that it hadn't been replaced. The Venetian project was one where it was proposed to be replaced from one end to the other, but it never actually got done when that project was done.
okay,
That's when we had to replace the section of 10-inch from basically the Hampton to the back to Exmo.
Yeah.
So it was proposed back in the day to have that whole stretch done when they redid Venetian, but it never actually got completed.
okay.
So, that's
Okay, because my next question was, do we have a replacement plan? I guess we don't.
No, because we don't know where
Okay,
exactly that is.
that's unfortunate. But I understand.
Yeah, and we've looked at all of our maps, all of our drawings that we have, and it's not listed anywhere, so we're
Yes.
we keep that in because it's
Yeah.
in previous
Mhm.
reports from before
Okay,
our time.
yeah. Okay, thank you. That was my only question on that. The
Yeah, and
same-
unfortunately, I was hoping that they'll have technology where they can put it's called a smart ball. So they actually put this ball into the mains and it gives you all kinds of information on the condition and the thickness and, you know, picks up different materials. Unfortunately, it's 10 inch and above. They
Oh.
don't have the technology to fit in smaller mains yet, so
Yeah.
if they ever do, we'll probably talk about it again.
Another project. Okay, so I guess I move to receive and file that first report. Thank you. And the second one, safe drinking water. Summary report.
Jay, this got the wrong year on it.
Well, it's for 2025.
Oh,
But the
sorry,
date
no,
there
no,
is right
no,
there.
research.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
Good catch, sorry about that.
well, no, I just,
Yeah, I thought we were down for,
maybe you're talking about an old document.
No, that is one that was a typo on my part. This one basically just goes over our, you know, any issues we had
Mhm.
of the year, and then it talks about our usage at the end of the report. Which we were up. Well, we were just under 3%,
2.8%, just under 3. Yeah.
so small increase in usage.
Mhm. I have no questions on this.
No.
Anything? Nope. I'll move and receive and file. Thank you. And item 3, sewer lining on St. Clair Street. Oh, well, this is the document that we've been looking for.
My first one is just a letter we received from Dobbin Engineering, who oversaw the completion of the project on St. Clair and Lake Street. The sewer relining, originally we did discuss the potential for completely replacing all the pipe from the start of the project. That was ruled out. So the recommendation from the previous engineer was in a 5 to 10 year period, we would look at the relining. After the reconstruction of the road and multiple times that we've cambered the lines. Our current engineers recommend we do it sooner than later, as a priority. So we did go out. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of options for lining larger pipes. The majority of companies in Ontario only do small lateral pipes. So In Situ Form is one company that does it out of the Hamilton area. Liquiforce was another, so I contacted Liquiforce as well. They are an American company and they've suspended operations in Canada for a while, indefinitely. Staff couldn't tell me when they're gonna come back to Canada and start doing the larger work again, so we went with the other company I did find was from Alberta, and unfortunately, they don't have a closer depot, I guess you would call it. So if we did, they would have to come all the way from Alberta, which was just gonna be too cost prohibitive.
Sure.
So In Situ Form is the only one that we did get the bid on it. They did submit their bid. It was higher than what I was anticipating.
Mhm.
Now there is one section that was included in this, where from Front Street back to Helena, it's a 450 diameter storm sewer. That was completely replaced and they've added it in. Into the price, so we can take approximately $90,000 out of this price because it was added in. And it shouldn't have been. So they had a lump sum in total meters of each different size.
Yes,
Between storm and that, so the very last piece, actually, I don't know. If you go to the next sheet, Jim, I don't know if you have the same. Yeah, so if you can see. They don't
that
have all the-
section there.
Yeah, they don't have all the storm manholes listed because obviously it would just overlap and clutter.
Sure.
So from the sanitary manhole there at Front Street, there's
Yes.
actually we follow the yellow line. There's a manhole there that goes back, and then there's STM3. If you go down again, Jim, you can see the last few. You should have those. I don't know, maybe you don't have that list. They sent me an additional list with the.
Oh, this one,
Yes.
this
that one.
list here,
So it'd be
STM of,
it'd be these last three that we can take out,
okay,
so. When I did the math, the calculation, it was right around
90K.
90K.
Well.
So,
Gets it under $1 million.
yeah.
Hmm.
Uh, It is a significant amount. My recommendation is to put it forth to council for consideration, the engineer's recommending it. You know, we did know it was coming.
Yes.
We had discussions about when we were gonna do it originally, and I guess it falls back on the recommendation of the original engineer that the decisions were made with, but we do have a slightly different recommendation by the current engineer.
And this would should be done before we repave. Correct,
This is, the actual recommendation was to try to have it done before the winter,
okay, that didn't happen.
and we couldn't do it, like, it just wasn't.
Yeah, we ran out of time.
So it would be to do it as soon as
As soon
possible.
as possible.
It could be left, but there's a potential that if you do leave it, we may be potentially having to get back into excavating the road if there is a break.
Okay.
They do suggest a 50+ year life on, like, an extension of the service life with this product, so. And there are some, I didn't attach them, I didn't get it sent yesterday, but I talked to them there are some videos on YouTube that show the process. And kind of give some information on what it is, what it looks like. And how it works,
That'd be helpful to help understand.
but, and I can send those later.
Sure.
I've got those links to you.
I'd
It's
be
all on
interested.
YouTube, and there's a few that aren't directly from this, they're American companies, but there are some good videos.
Similar process. There's same
Basically the
process.
same process, same materials.
Okay,
There's some stuff, there's some really good videos actually where they do relining of culverts under interstate highways with the same materials. It's quite interesting,
sure.
so.
Okay. So do we make a recommendation that we go to council with this?
Oh. Like, it's almost $1 million.
By the time taxes.
Yeah, it's gonna be $1 million.
It'll be $1 million project.
What money do you have towards it?
This, to pay for this, we will have to borrow further money on the
So I thought-
Yeah.
I just
The-
wanted to make sure.
infrastructure in Ontario.
But what-
Unfortunately, yes, I don't have that money sitting.
No, we don't have it. I mean, we did talk about this at the start about possibly
No, I know.
rolling it in,
Yeah.
because, depending, but at that time, the cost was
We,
what we thought would be the cost was significantly
well, we
less.
still have
but
access to
It
that.
still needs to
no?
be.
Yeah.
Needs to be done to finish,
Yeah.
totally finish off that project.
No, I agree. And, said we still have access to the funds.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll make a recommendation that we move this forward to council.
Yes, please.
Thank you. Any other new business? No. Anything?
No,
I have nothing. We'll review the financial statements. For February. I just have one question. There's a bunch of zeros in here. So that's last year's stuff? I'm assuming it's still sitting in the file here? Cause there's been no budget for this year.
Yes, in the capital.
Yeah,
Yeah.
would that work? Can we get that removed? Or to
Those
make it
projects,
cleaner or
well,
just leave it?
we're not sure. We're working on trying to come up with
Okay.
a solution for us. It's
Okay.
like between management and finance department,
Yeah.
because some of these, projects are still ongoing projects that.
But
carried
they're
over.
carryovers? Okay,
But we're being told we don't wanna put them in this report, so we're trying to get something set up so we would have a second report with any
Okay.
carryover stuff, so you would see, the budget that remains, what was spent to date, and all that, just on a separate sheet.
Okay. I can live with them in here. It's just,
Yeah, it's.
but you're,
Just-
you're working with Jane on
yeah,
it, so.
it just tidies it up, that's all, but
Yeah.
that's okay.
And
No big deal.
it is, it's confusing when you see the zeros, but
Yeah.
there actually is.
Big-
There's funds that are set aside that are
Okay.
already approved and earmarked for these projects.
Okay,
So there will come a time where you see there'll be expenses and
Against
nothing
those.
budgeted,
yes.
but
Yeah.
really there is money budgeted.
Yeah,
in
I've
previous
noticed this
years.
before in here. Yeah, okay, that's fine. I'm just asking the question because,
Yeah, we're trying to get something, so.
Yeah.
It'll be a little straightforward.
so I'll move that we
I have one item.
Oh,
I
do
just
you?
It was brought up to me in, it was either a previous meeting, or in between the meetings. The mesh, we're at like 145%.
yes,
Of the annual budget, so I did some looking into that, try to figure out what was going on. And I've got it sorted out now, and I've spoke to the finance department. The Evo invoice for our mesh system, that's supposed to be split 50% between environmental services and public works.
yes.
The 100% of it was put on the environmental service.
Well, that was nice, EJ.
Yeah, so
You don't want to pay for
they are, it was noted to split it and somehow it got
Yeah.
missed, so they're going to correct that, so. Next time around,
Okay.
when we get these, you'll see we'll be under budget, and Mike will have some on his, but
Okay, we'll be looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah.
Okay, thank
I
you.
remember being asked about why.
Yeah, no, I
So.
Yeah,
remember that discussion.
I think I asked a question. Yeah, okay, thanks. Thanks for the follow-up on that. Storm finances, I don't see anything. I'm anxious to see next month, there should be some revenue in the storm fee because taxes. First round of taxes should have been all paid.
Yeah, it'll show up there eventually.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No other questions on that. I'll move to receive and file those financial statements.
Seconded.
Okay. And if there's nothing else, our next meeting date is
April 14th.
April 14th at 1 PM. And I'll move to adjourn. Thank you very much.
Thank you.